Block Theater for the 2025 Veterans Day celebration. We would like to extend a special welcome to all veterans and their guests that are in attendance today. It is my privilege to dedicate this time to recognize our veterans, servicemen and women, for the sacrifices they continue to make. At this time, we ask all audience members, please rise as you're able. All gentlemen, please remove their headwear and direct your attention to the north door for the presentation of the colors. Presenting the flag this morning will be members of the American Legion Post Number 6 Honor Guard. Please remain at attention and silent until the flag has been posted and the band has played the national anthem. Please remain standing and join Central City Middle School student Kyrie reciting our Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now you can sit. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to invite Central City Middle School student Piper to read a short history of our Veterans Holiday, originally known as Armistice Day.
World War I, known as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919 in France. However, fighting had ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice, or temporary cessation of hostilities, went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. In 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as Armistice Day with the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in this country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the theme from which it has freed us, and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in councils of the nations." An act approved May 13, 1938, made the 11th of November a legal holiday, a day to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be thereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. It is primarily a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I, but that changed in 1954, after World War II had required the greatest mobilization of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen in the nation's history, and after American forces had fought aggression in Korea. The 83rd Congress, at the urging of the Veterans Service Organizations, amended the Act of 1938 by striking out the word armistice and inserting in its place the word veterans. With the approval of this legislation, 1964, November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars. Veterans Day is observed on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. Commemorating Veterans Day not only preserves the historical significance of the event, but helps focus attention on the most important purpose of the day, a celebration to honor Americans veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, Piper. It's always great when you have a script. You think you need to read it all. All right, next, please welcome Mr. Anthony McPhillips and the sixth grade students as they introduce their honored guests. Audience members, if we could ask, please hold your applause until all veterans have been introduced.
Hi, my name is Jacob Perry, and this is Jack McMahon, my grandpa. His rank is Specialist fourth class in the United States Army. He served for 2 years from 1964 to 1966.
Hi, my name is Lily Peterson. This is William Grimes, or my grandpa Bill. He is ranked E3 in the United States Air Force. He served for 2.5 years.
Hi, my name is Kai Rondell, and this is Thomas Hermanson, my uncle. His rank is E6, Technical Surgeon in the United States Air Force. He served for 10 years from 2009 to 2019.
Hi, my name is Sean Benson, and this is Zachary Benson, my father. His rank was Specialist in the United States Army. He served for 6 years, from 2006 to 2012.
Hi, my name is Carter Wood, and this is Ryle Wood, my father. He is Warrant Officer 1 in the Nebraska Army National Guard. He has served for 17 years and still continues to serve today.
Hi, my name is Dustin Martins, and this is Scott Knies, my uncle. He is a first sergeant in the United States Army. He has served for 23 years and still continues to serve our country.
We would also like to recognize all veterans, both active and retired, that are in the audience. If you would please stand at this time. Please join me now in welcoming the Central City Middle School 6th grade choir under the direction of Mr. Dane Christensen as they perform our Veterans Appreciation Song. The song is titled Thankfully by Michael and Angela Sauter. Soloists will be Hayden Hyder and Carter Wood.
Yeah.
Thank you, choir. That was awesome. It is my honor at this time to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Jacob Jensen. Jacob is a 2000 graduate of Central City High School. He enlisted in the U.S. Army in January of 2001. He completed basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia as an infantry trainee and was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado with the 3rd Brigade Infantry Combat Team, where he received additional training as a Bradley Fighting Vehicle Gunner and Dismount Squad Team Leader. Jacob served 2 tours in the Middle East. From December of 2001 to May of 2002, he was posted on the Kuwait-Iraqi border as part of post 9/11 security. He returned to the region in March of 2003 and served during the Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom operation. Jacob earned the rank of Sergeant E5 and would graduate from the Primary Leadership Development Training conducted at Fort Hood, Texas in September of 2004. He was honorably discharged in January of 2005. During his time in the military, Jacob received the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Combat Infantryman Badge, the National Defense Service Medal twice, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal twice, and the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal in Service Ribbon. He is currently employed by the BNSF Railroad as a control tower operator at the Hobson Yard in Lincoln, and it is my extreme pleasure to introduce Mr. Jacob Jensen.
Hello. Thank you for the introduction. I might repeat a little bit of that. This is the first time I've ever spoken in front of an audience of this big. And definitely over the last 20 years, I haven't spoke a lot about my military experience. A lot of veterans tell you that they're kind of the same way. The reason being is you don't think about yourself. You think about the men and women that stand to your left, to your right, and behind you. And so when you think about your service, it's those people, those brothers in arms, if you will, that you think about. So if my voice cracks, if I bore you to death, I apologize. I don't feel like I deserve to be up here. With that being said, I'll go through an introduction and we'll go from there. So hello, thank you, Mr. Bancroft, for allowing me to be here today and asking me to speak. Thank you, veterans, for being here today, and thank you, students. My name is Jacob Jensen. I was born August 5th, 1982 here at Litzenberg Memorial Hospital. From what I know, it's not here anymore. I grew up here in Central City. I attended public school here, and I worked various summer and part-time jobs while I was going to school here in the community. My first taxable job was for blouse detasseling. I'm sure a lot of you have detasseled. It's hot, it's hard work. It's a grinding job. But you seek out your friends, you have a good time, you make what you can of it. It's kind of like the military. I also worked at the Dairy Queen, so I want to give a special thanks to Rick Coombs, who I know is a big member of the community and also a veteran. Rick always treated me well. Rick and Costco employed several members of my family, and they always treated us well. And I just really want to give my appreciation to him and to Costco and the Coombs family. I also worked at Central City Mall, so I want to give Joe and Cindy Clark thanks for the opportunity to do that there as well. In high school, I was lucky enough to be coached by Coach Joe Cutlass, who I don't know if a lot of you remember, and Dave Jorgensen, who I hope a lot of you still have the opportunity to know on the basketball team. The team motto was MTXE, which stood for mental toughness and extra effort. That would be a mindset that I relied on later on when things were difficult and when I needed motivation. whether it was basic training, combat operations, anything of that nature. Those words were more than just words. They were a work ethic. They taught me to work hard and finish the job when I faced adversity. I remember I didn't go out for any sports my junior year. I was kind of a bad kid, I guess. You know, I was just trying to find my way, see where I fit in. When I came back my senior year and I went out for the basketball team and was welcomed back with open arms. But then I skipped practice to go to a concert. And when I came back to school the next day, Coach Cutlass asked me, he said, "Hey, how you feeling? Ready for practice today, you know?" And I said, "Oh, Coach, I missed school because I was in Omaha at a concert. I wasn't sick." And he said, "Oh, okay. All right, well, I thought you were sick. That's why you didn't come to practice." So then they called me in the office, and him and Coach Jorgensen were there. And, you know, they basically told me, you just practice, you ditched your teammates so that you could go have fun at this concert. Broke team policy, team rules, so you're going to suspend you for the first 2 games of the season. Honestly, it didn't much matter. I wasn't that good. I wasn't going to start. But I was part of the team. In doing so, they taught me the meaning of integrity, which is one of the 7 core values of the Army. Basically, if you don't know what integrity is, it's doing the right thing even when you think no one's looking, no one's taking notice. And they taught me that my actions affected my teammates. I didn't know it at the time, but being on that team and learning from my coaches and my teammates would prepare me for service in the military. I graduated essentially high school in May of 2000. I was a valedictorian. I was middle of the road, just doing what I had to do to get good grades and pass. I was only 17. I had wanted to sign up for airborne infantry during my senior year, but needed my parents' permission to do so because I was still a minor. My dad wouldn't sign the papers because of what my grandfather had told him about him and my uncles about his service as part of light infantry unit in World War II. My mom was scared for my safety. She still is to this day. Love you, Mom. So instead, I worked construction as a wood framer, building houses for a company out of Grand Island from May until December. And after I turned 18 in August, I went to the recruitment office, and in January of 2001, I enlisted in the U.S. Army for 4 years of active duty as an infantryman. As Mr. Van Pelt mentioned, I completed basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado with the 1st of the 12th Infantry Battalion, 3rd Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division. Trust me, I didn't know what any of that meant when I got there. During my enlistment, I was a Bradley Fighting Vehicle Gunner and a dismount squad team leader. I served 2 tours in the Middle East. My first tour was 6 months deployment, 2001, December 2001 until May 2002 to Kuwait, Iraq border as part of the 9/11 security operations. And I got to tell you, when I joined, I told everyone, it's not to worry, we just drop bombs. We're not going anywhere. And I remember I came in from a 5-mile run and watched the news like I always did every morning. And my barracks roommate was watching in his room. And we watched the second plane crash into the tower together. And I said, Speedy. If you know anything about nicknames, Speedy was not fast. He's a bigger guy. He said, yeah, steady. I was not steady. He said, yeah, I saw it. I said, I'll leave that to a different time. We're screwed, basically. He said, yep. And about that time, our lives completely changed. The same way every Americans did. We were on lockdown. We weren't allowed to leave post. We were on the quick reaction force. We were going to go anywhere in the world within 2 hours. Things didn't materialize, but they sent us to the border in Kuwait, the Iraq border. And we thought to ourselves, are we on the border of Iraq? Bin Laden's in Afghanistan. That's what everything told us. February of 2002, a lot of people don't know this, we were going to invade Iraq. Due to political reasons, we did not, so they pulled us back May of 2002. My second tour in the Middle East was part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. We deployed in March 2003 as part of the 1st to the 12th Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Division, 3rd Brigade Combat Team. We deployed as the invasion took place. The battalion that I served in participated in the invasion and the ground war. A phase that included fighting through the Battle of Baghdad and Operation Red Dawn, which is the capturing of Saddam Hussein himself. Our mission involved various operations to support the coalition's advance, including securing key areas and engaging enemy forces within the area, which came to be known as the Sunni Triangle. Eventually, we were tasked with training the Iraqi Civil Defense Corps, which was basically their version of the National Guard. My battalion returned to Fort Carson, Colorado in March 2004. I was promoted to the rank of Sergeant E5 and graduated from Primary Leadership Development Training in Fort Hood, Texas in September of 2004. I was honorably discharged in 2005. And I gotta tell you, not a day goes by that I don't regret staying in. I would do it all over again because of those people that were to my left and my right. If you look it up, you'll find that less than 1% of the U.S. population is currently serving on active duty in the United States military. A number that includes those on active duty in the National Guard and Reserve members is approximately 6% of the U.S. population that are currently living veterans who have previously served. So if you think about it, the actual number is a fourth of 1% of the population of the United States that serves on active duty. So it would be half of a person standing up in a room full of 100. It's a pretty small amount. I was asked to be here today by a fellow veteran who was unable to attend for personal reasons. Master Sergeant Lily Chambers graduated from Central City High School and dedicated the last 20-some years to serving her country. I attended her retirement ceremony at Camp Ashland on October 17th. If you know Lily, you know she represents the 7th Army core values and what it means to sacrifice for the greater good. She is an example and an inspiration to those that know her. When she's not wearing the uniform, she's constantly giving back to her local community through volunteer service and support. I'm proud to call her a friend and honored that she thought of me when suggesting a replacement. When I'm asked, what does Veterans Day mean to me as a veteran? I've honestly never thought about me when thinking about Veterans Day. I've always thought about those that served before me, alongside me, and after me. I feel like most veterans would agree with that sentiment and with those words. I know that when veterans are asked if they were a hero when they wore the uniform, that all will probably say no emphatically. But I served with some, and I did. As I thought about what I wanted to say here today and researched what percentage of Americans were veterans, I found this quote by President Theodore Roosevelt. And it says, "A man who is good enough to shed his blood for the country is good enough to be given a square deal afterwards." Veterans Day represents an opportunity for all of us to show our appreciation for the willingness and actions of those who served in our military. Today is a reminder to be thankful for the sacrifices made during that service. Honoring veterans is a responsibility for all citizens, not just those continuing to serve or have served in the past. Memorial Day honors military personnel who have died in service, while Veterans Day celebrates and thanks all who have served in the U.S. Army. U.S. Armed Forces, excuse me, kind of biased. Living or deceased. The key difference is the focus. Memorial Day is for remembering the fallen, whereas Veterans Day is for expressing gratitude to all veterans. The simplest and yet most important way to honor veterans is through your civic participation, voting. getting out in the community. Taking action in the democratic process by voting and participating in elections, ensuring that veteran services are offered in your community. Voting for candidates and representatives that fulfill promises to continue to serve those who served and who were willing to sacrifice for the freedoms that we all enjoy. To say thank you for your service is a great start, it really is. But it's the actions and the support that supplement those words that show true appreciation for those that wore the uniform. Freedom is not free. It never has been, it never will be. It will continue to require sacrifice by those willing to take action when needed. So if you're thinking about joining, I encourage you to do your research, decide what's best for you. As citizens, we all need to take action to guarantee that the words "thank you for your service" aren't just a phrase and are fully supported by giving back to those who sacrifice for greater good and freedoms we enjoy. Thank you, and thank all of our nation's veterans.
On behalf of the Central City Public Schools, I would like to thank Jacob for taking time out of his busy schedule and speaking to you, and giving that special word of appreciation. Next, please welcome the Central City High School Band, under the direction of Dr. Calvin Schweitzer, as they share their Veterans Day tribute. thank you all for attending. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll ask that you please rise as you're able. Direct your attention back to the north door of the theater for the retirement of the colors. Please remain standing until the flag has left the facility, and Miss Cheyenne Beach will perform taps. Last, if you go ahead and grab a seat real quick, we will be releasing you by section. And I would like to thank you once again for joining us to recognize the sacrifices and contributions made by our service members. Remember, the American flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of every soldier who has died protecting it. We would like to invite you all to gather again with us at 2 o'clock for the Veterans Day Parade. Parade route is Highway 30. Let's start with our 6th grade hosts and their guests.